Hey y'all, this your girl Tika Deshawn with another All the Queens Men recap, Season 4, Episode 6, entitled Gas Face. Now keep in mind, just stay locked in because you're going to find out why they call it Gas Face, okay? Anyway, Blue opens up about her past trauma. Detective Davis makes headway on Madam through an unexpected death, and an attack on Edom puts some high-profile dancers in a very dangerous position, causing them to get the gas face. That's all I'll say for right now. With that being said, the episode starts off where Concierge is going through examining his product. The product that has been tainted by Madam has been taken off of the streets. At least the majority of it has been taken off of the streets, and they are basically recooking it, repurposing it, changing it to make it somewhat usable so that Concierge can sell it to his overseas connection. Yes, you're going to see the ladies with the respirators on, and you're going to see them, they cooking it up the way that they cook it up on the TV. So anyway, of course, without a doubt, Concierge is big mad about this whole situation, but he can't, cry over spilled milk. So, of course, there's a phone call that comes in from Madam. She's getting this massage by this naked female, which I really don't care about that, but that's just what's going on. She's bragging about the massage, how the massage is so much better, and applying the pressure, telling the girl to apply the pressure. Anyway, Concierge is like, that is so irrelevant. Just give me my stuff. Just leave me alone. So anyway, we're going to see Madam, her sister Carla, as well as Tony, and they are just having a conversation as to, about getting possession of Maddie B's. Now, Madam, she could care less either way, because at the end of the day, the only property that's more important to Madam is the property next to Madam B's. I'm pretty sure that's where the bodies are buried. So anyway, we're going to see Blue, and she's currently in therapy, and there's some things she can and can't reveal. And just like I said last week, how can the therapist actually get through to her if she's not willing to open up and share everything? So then we're going to see Fuego, and he is working on something, and he says, Maria, you're always listening, because Maria is like Siri. Siri, you say something to Siri, and it's going to respond. But his brain is starting to make it make sense. So he's going to go into Maria and basically check timestamps as far as what information Maria actually recorded, because just like he said, Maria, you're always listening, y'all. So then we're going to see a moment where Doc makes his way down to the police station. He has to figure out who was on duty at the time. This young lady says that she was the one that's on duty. She's always on duty, because this is where he needs to be able to get into that evidence cage or that evidence locker so that he can get the information that he's looking for. Now, he's flirting with her, and she's feeling it. Like, she's feeling his chest and everything else, and she's like, when you want me there, because he invites her down to the club. So then we're going to see Detective Davis, and she is at Dr. Sung's office, where, of course, she has to investigate his unalivement, and she says, get me all of the footage, get me all the forensics to the CSI agent. So then we're going to see Madam and the one and only who has come in with her attorney. Her attorney tells her, we've got to move quickly because court is going to be set really, really soon. She agrees. Let's just move as quickly as possible. So like I said, we got Tommy, and he has been to the physician, and he just told the physician he was having all these different type of anxiety, depression. So this is what the medication that you see on the table, this is what that medication is for. Madam's like, I don't have any of that stuff, maybe one or two, but I'll take this medicine and I'll take the rolled up cigarettes, okay? So she does just that. So then we're going to hear the contents of what Maria possessed. We're hearing the altercation where the men came in and they popped Sandra, as well as is basically right up to the moment where Fuego walked in. And, of course, he is not feeling that at all. But then we see Miss Tony, as well as Amp, as well as Dime. Dime is talking about her stomach is having indigestion. So y'all already know Dime is knocked up. It is what it is. We didn't want it, but it's what happening. And then, like I said, Miss Tony walks up and she's just, basically wanting Amp to reconnect. Of course, she calls him Anthony, but she wants to reconnect with him. She wants to, in this moment, she wants to reconnect with him. I still don't trust Miss Tony, and I'm gonna keep y'all find out why. So of course, Babyface walks in the club. He's got Q that's following him like a little lost puppy, telling him how nice his car is. And, all he has to do is compliment Babyface, and that you can get on Babyface's good side by complimenting him, even if it's authentic, if it's not authentic. Okay. So again, we got Fuego and Big D just trying to figure out, how they're gonna talk to these guys that he heard on his intercom system. And Big D tells him, whatever you need, I got your back. So at least Fuego doesn't have to go by himself to deal with those dudes who did what they did to Sandra. So we're going to see Trouble, y'all. Trouble is on that stuff, y'all. She done pop some eggs, and she is high. She is so high that she is actually flirting with Rayshawn, who's supposed to be her friend. She's really actually flirting with him, and he's just like, are you high? So he immediately knows that something is not quite right with Trouble. And then we got the young lady at the club. Her name is Naima. I'm sorry, y'all, Naima. And of course, she is in love already with Doc. And unfortunately, Doc is going to put something in her drink that is going to cause her to later on have a reaction. But she's so naive, but she's so excited because she sees Doc there in the club. So then we see Amp, Fuego, and the rest of the fellas, and they're just having a conversation. And of course, the chick that normally does the fluffing for the fellas, she comes in and asks, do you guys need anything? You guys need anything? But of course, before that, they're talking about how crazy it is of the request that Renee has for Midnight, and that he should not do that craziness. But Midnight's gonna be Midnight. He's gonna do whatever he thinks he's supposed to do. So this chick walks in. This is the chick, like I said, she's the one that does all the fluffing and asks, do anybody need anything? Of course, Midnight's dirty self is, yeah, I need you. So she goes to work on Midnight. She's going downtown. That's all I can say, y'all. And everybody else is like, yep, I'm good. Like, take that stuff to the bathroom. And then you're going to see this cloud of smoke coming through the Men of Eden's dressing room. But then we start to see Naima. And Naima is wilding out. Like, what the heck is going on? Naima, we know something was put in Naima's drink. Of course, we still have Trouble, who is walking around looking crazy, doing the wildest things that she shouldn't be doing. And Madam pulls up on her and let her know, look, you need to go home. You're suspended. She was like, well, what about the money I got to make back from when I was in the basement? And Matt was like, I don't give a darn about that. You better go ahead and leave now before you basically get fired. And so, of course, she doesn't understand that. She's big mad at Madam, but she has no choice but to walk away. So Dom is up on the stage, and she's trying to announce the fellas, as she normally does, the Men of Eden. But the Men of Eden, y'all, are laid out, past the F out in the professional or in the Men of Eden's dressing room, because, of course, like I said, we saw that puff of smoke, and that's just what it was, gas face. So anyway, we're seeing Detective Davis. She's talking to D.A. Rods. Of course, the basic conversation, we got to get Madam. I can't believe she got away with X, Y, and Z. We got to do what we got to do before this trial, and we're going to pin Dr. Song's unalivement on her. So then back at the club, Diamond's up there on the stage, and she's announcing. So because the Men of Eden aren't able to come out, she calls out the amateurs. Madam Blue tells her to go ahead and get the amateurs out there to fill the stage. And basically, Q gets out there. He does his thing. He makes his money as everybody else runs to go and help the Men of Eden. He did his thing. So anyway, in the Men of Eden's dressing room, everybody is literally passed out. Madam runs straight to Amp, and it's Amp, are you okay? Questioning, is everybody okay? And so Tommy starts pulling people out of there. He starts with Big D first, and then they start dragging as many other people as they can up out of there. Now we're gonna see Trouble. She's big mad, like I said, because she has been dismissed, but she goes and looks into Q's locker and sees all these crazy images of Babyface. He's looking like a whole stalker at this point, and she's like, let me make sure none of my drawers is in there. But she's laughing because it's Babyface. So then we see they finally come to, because after being laid out from whatever that gas was that was in that dressing room, y'all, everybody's finally coming to with of course Madam asked Blue, well, what was that? But anyway, y'all, everybody's came to except this young lady right here, the fluffy queen. She is out of there. She is gone to that big Eden in the sky. So then finally the fellas come to themselves, and of course, out of all things they perform to is Robitussin by I don't know that. I don't think that's what it's called, but it's FN Robitussin. Yeah, that. Anyway, y'all, that song by Chris Brown, they're doing their thing on the stage. And it's so befitting that they will perform to something such as this, because they literally was just passed out. It had them all hazy and crazy and so on and so forth. But they give their routine. Of course, it wasn't that routine. Like, they didn't even have time to take their clothes off at this point. It was just more of a dance routine. We're going to glow in the dark. We're going to move around on the stage in a circle. We're going to get on each other's backs. We're going to climb poles. That's basically what it all boiled down to, y'all. And that was just the routine. I just wanted to give you guys a few images of what was seen in this particular dance routine, okay? So I'm going to play this real quick, and y'all, I'll be right back. So Madam tells Blue, go figure out what is going on. What was that? So then they're going to see this young lady who is high as I don't know what. And she's telling Madam, we got to get out the club. We got to get out the club. Like, she's causing the whole scene. Next thing you know, Madam ends up popping her. She don't know that Doc is scheming with this chick. So at the end of the night, y'all, everybody is cashing out, tipping out. And we see where Q made actually more money than Babyface. But Madam is up on the stage. She's letting everybody know we're going to have a maintenance man to come and clear that whole situation out so y'all can come back to work tomorrow. Everything should be straight. So, I hate it for the men of Eden. They go through so much working at this one club. It's just always some drama. But it is what it is. They keep working there. So moving right along, y'all. We see Midnight, and he receives this phone call. I'm believing it's from Renee, and he tells her, you better have that door unlocked, like playing out the scenario. I hope this isn't a trap for Midnight, but it's giving trap to me. That's all I'm saying. So, of course, Carla is at the restaurant with her sister Tony. And Carla's trying to ask her, what's really your end game? Why are you really even here? Like, what are you even up to? Of course, Tony's not trying to reveal anything. She just wants the father's club, so she says. We're going to keep watching Miss Tony, because as Carla leaves and walks away, there's a conversation that is had, and she's saying, I'm just doing what I got to do, and at the end of the day, I'll be able to get you what it is that you want. Now, is she talking to the popo? Is she talking to her husband? I don't know. But then we're going to see where Madam walks in on Concierge, because between Madam as well as Blue, they figure out that Concierge was the one that smoked out the club, the professional or the VIPs, their dressing room, y'all. So that was the end of the episode. It was all crazy. Gas face, y'all. That's all I can say. It was all crazy. But as always, I will continue to watch more and more episodes of All the Queen's Men. So make sure you guys come back on Sunday, Virtual Club Eden, where Virtual Club Eden is always a vibe, where we will discuss All the Queen's Men. I hope you guys are able to join us, okay? All right, y'all. I'm out here. Thank you for kicking it with your girl. And stay ruthless as always.